good friend of the program, Chris Hummer, national college football writer for 247sports.com. Chris, I wanted to ask you something recruiting related because big news here in the last 24 hours in Tuscaloosa as the Crimson Tide picked up a commitment from offensive lineman Damieon George. They're from the Houston area, big for a couple of reasons, but no one will deny the fact that Zachary Evans, perhaps the nation's top prospect there with Damieon George at his high school, is also heavily involved in Alabama. Tell us a little bit about that situation because I know you've reported on it in the past, and what you sort of see perhaps unfolding here with Damian George and his outstanding teammate there at North Shore High School.
Yeah, as you said, it's probably hard not to connect the dots between Damieon George and Zach Evans. Those two won a state championship together at North Shore. They are really close. Zach and Damien are probably Zach's best friend on North Shore is probably Damien. They've talked for a long time about wanting to play together. Zach would literally, when coaches call him, ask coaches, their college coaches, how often they're talking to Damien and what they're talking to Damien about. That relationship is very close. They've said in the past that they want to play with each other in college. I have no reason to believe that has shifted in any way. I was at North Shore High School last week to talk to Zach. I was there the day he revealed his top 5. Alabama was in that group, and he talked extremely highly about Alabama. I think Bama Online subscribers know that Zach was on campus earlier this week, and Damien's going to be there later this week. I'm not saying a commitment is imminent or anything of the sort. Zach told me he wanted to wait until closer to when his season starts or maybe even push it to the playoffs. But I have a hard time projecting anybody but Alabama as the favorites for Zach right now. Kind of given the way their running back room looks next year, I'm assuming Najee Harris leaves, and the fact that Damien will be on campus next year as well. That's two pretty strong factors in Alabama's favor moving forward.
Have you seen Zach in action, Zachary Evans? And what type of player are we talking about? Obviously very talented. But maybe in style of play and those things with how he goes about his business.
Yeah, I have definitely seen Zach in action. He is a freak. Legitimately, he only started playing football in 7th or 8th grade. And the kid is just a special athlete. I think the thing that really pops out to you, I'm not sure if this will translate, but he ran a 3.84 or 20-yard shuttle.
Wow.
For perspective on that number, I think I looked it up, but there are maybe 3 total players at the NFL Combine in the last decade that had a shuttle better than that. And I know Combine numbers and high school testing numbers aren't always comparable, but Zach is he's a freakish athlete side to side. And it's not only that, he can push off of his foot rather hard and kind of get through a hole. And he's really shifty, but he is violent on the field. And I think that's what really kind of separates him from a lot of other talented athletes. He's more of a side-to-side runner at this point based on the system he runs in high school. He doesn't work out of a lot of single back formations. He usually has 2 back sets out of a shotgun. But he's a special kid, and I think if you put him in Alabama's system, he would have no problem putting up numbers.
And Damieon George, the offensive lineman commit, I'm just going to guess, based on his measurables, Chris, road grader, mauler, would those adjectives maybe describe his way of play?
Yeah, Damien is definitely that type of kid. He's going to probably have to be a tackle in college. I don't know if he's fleet enough of foot to play a guard and do what you need to do there. He's super long. I believe his official measurement is like 6'7", and I think his arms are a little longer than that. I think he's going to have to lose some weight in a strength and conditioning program to really have a chance to play at Alabama. But he could end up being an excellent take depending on how he develops in a strength and conditioning program. And at worst, it's never a bad thing to have a swing tackle or something in the SEC. So it's an interesting take, but one certainly that you have to at least look at Zach Evans when you consider the George take.
Yeah, DJ Fluker came to Alabama with some of those obstacles in front of him, became a pretty good right tackle for the Crimson Tide in time. Well, Chris, as always, super stuff from Chris Hummer at 247sports.com. Give Chris a follow on Twitter, Chris_Hummer, HUMMER. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.